Hey everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Okami. Last time, we got here to Sei'an City and filled the drain canal in the commoners' quarters, allowing us to get to the aristocratic quarter and meet Priestess Rao, who wants to get rid of the spiraling mist, but needs her prayer slips to do so, and she doesn't know where those are because she lost them somehow. So our mission now is to not go back through the door. I hate that in games. Why is it nighttime? I had a failed... I was gonna say I had a failed session, and it turned nighttime the same session. That probably means it's on a timer. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk that? I mean, things on a timer in a game in 2006, 10? If you count the view release. I don't think they changed the time physics, but hey, maybe they changed quantum physics. That's not what time is. Stray B there, by the way, if you want to get that. There's also a treasure behind this thing. And come on, make it open. There we go. Well, we're just going, kind of running around grabbing treasure that I missed last episode, or rather didn't get last episode. If there are random cuts in this episode, or if my voice sounds weird or anything like that, I am fighting a cold and a cough, and this happens like every goddamn October, and every winter, every time it gets cold. So, it's annoying, and I hate it, but it happens. What are you gonna do? I'll record anyway? I mean, it's not like I can't talk at all. Obviously, I'm speaking right now, it's gonna be different, but I mean, it's like, it's sort of annoying. It's in my mind more like, I hate it. The worst thing is, when you're sick, but you're not that sick. Where, like, you feel awful, like, all the time about it. That you're sick, you feel bad, but, well, feel bad, like, you feel, like, guilty that you're sick. No, like, it's bad when you can't stay home from school, because it's a really petty thing, it seems. But you also feel like you should be staying home from school, like, that's the worst thing ever, I think. Well, not ever, but it's, it's pretty bad. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's like maybe a 6.5. Maybe not that high, I don't know. Maybe only a 6. Depends on who the judge is that day, and who really gives a shit. Basically me, and no one else. And open the chest, come on now, and get a crystal! Regardless, we also noticed last episode, or rather Isun did, that the spiraling, swirling mist of doom is seeming to come from this area because of the giant swirling mist of tornado doom and green smoke. So let's go through it. Also, the green smoke's kind of spurting out of this area, so, sort of a clear giveaway that this is sort of where it's coming from. It's also really thick here. How are these guards not dying? Psst, can you hear me? What? We're supposed to be on duty. Well, it's just, I wanted to ask you something. What's your opinion of His Highness? What do you mean? Sure, you're not doubting the worth of our honorable emperor. True, he's had to take us to bed because of a strange illness. But I'm full of hope that he'll soon make a speedy recovery. And I am too, of course. But there's something about his illness that just bothers me. The swirling mist is a little out of the ordinary, don't you think? The moment the emperor took ill, it started to come from his room. And then, before we knew it, it had taken over the whole city. People are really starting to suffer from it too. Well, don't you think it's all a bit of a coincidence? It's definitely odd, I'll give you that. But it's no use trying to ask His Highness how he feels. He just sends everyone away and he won't even see a doctor. So, I don't see that there's anything we can do about it. But what about that girl locked up in the cell all alone? She shouldn't be locked up like that. She's done nothing wrong. You mean that girl called Kaguya, right? Orders are orders, so we had no choice but to lock her up. But I can't see why His Highness wanted us to do it. The city's in a real mess ever since he took ill like this. I wonder what's going on inside the palace. We're gonna grab these papers over here, and you can read the text if you want to know what Isun's saying. But Kaguya, if you remember, was brought up by Mr. Bamboo a while ago. He asked us if we knew anything about Kaguya back at the Kamiki Festival. Obviously, we said no, but now we know she's locked away in a cell in the Imperial Palace. So that's a bit worrisome. And seemingly for no reason. Maybe she did do something wrong and we just don't know, and for some reason the king wouldn't tell his guards, but I feel like that may not be the case. We're just going to cut through this curse zone here, because what's the worst that can happen besides us dying? Whatever. Anyway, these papers we got, turns out they are Rao's purse slips. What have you... My purse slips! You found them? In this huge city? Thank you. They're indispensable in my fight against evil beings. I was sure one of them had stolen them from me. Thank goodness. Yes, your ability to sniff things out really is a divine power. Your name's Amaterasu, correct, Wolf? Well, Amaterasu, would you put your powers to use for us? You're saying we're the answer to your prayers. I'm saying you're our only hope. As you have seen, Ryoshima Coast is in turmoil. All because of the evil arising from the darkness. Because of the forces of darkness. Forces of darkness. Yes, that's 3 times we've heard the word darkness. This is not pain. Yes, next to them, the monsters out there in the wild are nothing. They're starting to take over Ryoshima Coast, and if Queen Himiko can find her palace, it all falls to me. Normally, I'd use my holy powers to dispel any threat to the city. But this foe is too strong for me. So I have no choice but to ask this favor. Lend me your powers. So that means we'd end up helping Himiko after all. I don't know. Sounds kind of fishy to me. There are some who think the queen is a coward to shut herself away. But she cares for her subjects. She's praying for our protection. But even she can't calm the water dragon and exorcise the city. Now without that sacred treasure to enhance her holy powers. That's what I want you to help me with. Please, Amaterasu, let me ask you, come again. Once again. You listen to what I have to ask? Why not? Ah, what the heck. Let's see what this stacked babe has to say. Stacked? Anyway, when you came into the city, did you see it? Right off the coast near the Ryoshima border, there lies a sunken treasure ship, a victim of the water dragon's rampage. That ship was a trading vessel working between here and abroad. It was transporting a great treasure ordered by Queen Himiko, but the water dragon attacked every ship in the water. It sunk the ship and its precious cargo right in front of the port. The fox rods that the queen had finally managed to locate, a matchless treasure with the power to defeat any foe, would have been Sei'an City's, no, Nippon's greatest asset. If we had the fox rods now, we could drive out the evil beings. Amaterasu, will you come to the ship with me and help me search its cargo for the fox rods? Do you want us to do what? Do you want us to search for treasure on a sunken ship? Well, I'd do anything for a cute babe, but if my bossy says no, there ain't much I can do. Well, boss, we can help this busty babe or what? Sounds fun. Bummer. Well, the boss has spoken. Huh? What was that on me? Thank you, Amaterasu. You're a true savior. Okay, let's go to the ship right away then. Although, we must wait until a new moon rises in the night sky. In the shallows where the ship ran aground called the Lunar Lagoon, the tide only recedes when the new moon is seen from the moon turret. When the tide's out, it's easy to get into the ship's treasure ship. We'll meet the ship on the night of the next new moon. Right, well, let's go do that. Boy, Ami, you really seem to help her. Well, I couldn't say no to those two either. But we can't let our guard down. I mean, who knows? That busty babe might be Himiko's puppet. And if they're up to no good, then we should get our hands on those fox rods before they do. On our way out, I decided to check how much fish goes for. The cutlass will go for 15,000 yen. That is pretty good. Right, well, we also have some treasure we can sell. Lots of crystal. Well, 3 crystals, not really a lot. And while we're here, I don't believe we bought this gold dust over here. I mean, if we didn't, we might as well check. And we didn't. Well, okay, let's buy it now then. Right. Well, to Ryoshima then. Because we have one thing to do actually before we do go to the sunken ship. Convenient they start you know, sort of at the top of this hill, not right at the bottom, because, yeah, I don't know, this gives you less places to walk, less time, you know. Bit of convenience, bit of streamlining. I'm always a fan. But, there's a little bit of treasure over here near the entrance to Sei'an, and I thought I'd just dig it up, might as well. I know it's here because of a failed recording attempt, so might as well get that. But before we go to the sunken ship, that was weird, there is a little thing we have to do. And, you know, it won't take long, it'll take like maybe, I don't know, 4 minutes at most, probably not even that. Regardless, you know, might as well go do it. And actually, even before we go into the sunken ship proper, we have to get something on the sunken ship, you know, atop it. But there are a few secret bosses in Okami, a few secret bosses, secret challenges, whatever you want to call them. There's, I think, like a total of 6 if you count, you know, everything that I'm counting. And we are going to head to one of them now. Unfortunately, the secret bosses of Okami are quite disappointing. And I think you'll see why as soon as we dig up this hard dig spot on the way to the Guardian Sapling. I mean, it looks ominous, you know, purple smoke of doom, but let's jump in and see what we have to face. Oh my god, it's the Spider Queen again. Well, I mean, well, no, it's not the Spider Queen, it's the Bandit Spider. The difference between the Bandit Spider and the Spider Queen? Well, let's get to his backside. I assume it's a he. And, you know, he's not called Spider Queen. You have one more thing to vine to on the Konoha Blossoms. And that's it. As far as I can tell, there's no difference between them. This and the Spider Queen. Maybe he like breaks out faster, maybe he's a bit more difficult for some reason. But I don't know, he's got a little treasure ship, that's cute. But other than that, he's really not any different than the Spider Queen you fought in the Suta Ruins. So, whatever works on her, just use on him, and you'll be fine. Now, actually, the Spider Queen fight is a bit annoying for first-time players. I don't know if I mentioned this during the fight, during the Spider Queen. I might have mentioned the camera is a bit annoying. That is still the case. I believe he's not really doing it yet right now, but I believe, oh fuck, do we have any Infinity Stones to use? No. Well, we're waiting then. I suppose I can talk about this. Oh, wait, no, he's, oh, what? Okay, fine, that's cool by me. That's cool. I mean, I can't do any damage right now, but I can do my, you know, karate airs. That's what smash attacks in the air call. Look at that face, though. I believe he does, like, originally in the Spider Queen fight, if you drew too long, a vortex would have appeared or whatever, and she would have sucked up the ink you were using. Trying to use, rather. I think he might do that more frequently here. No promises that I really don't know, but he's not really any harder than the Spider Queen. But you do get a fairly good reward for doing it, so, and you're not really going out of your way. You get Sunfang. I mean, it's not a bad reward. We collected three of them, so I mean, one more, you know, unit of soul energy for us. It's 8 now. Not bad. I love this teleportation sequence, though. I don't think I mentioned enough that, like, everything in this game is beautiful. From, you know, not even, like, visual, just soundtrack as well. Like, everything. Just look at this. It's, well, aside from that tree that's popping in right now. The game is beautiful. The art style, everything, the characters. I love everything design-wise about this game. Regardless, you may be asking why we're doing this. Well, we are going to lily pad on over to the Sunken Ship. And obviously, you know, she said you need to, is there, hold on, is there a climb over here? There is. There's a treasure over here. I never knew this. What is it? Well, okay. If you want a mermaid coin, that cool. Playing this game, I played this game so many times in like 4 years, countless times, way too many times, an unhealthy amount of times. Still haven't found little things like those. That to me is a sign of a really good game when you can come back to it however long after and find new things. Also out of ink, so I have to swim a little bit of the way. Yeah, whatever. Let's go. We're almost there. It's not really that long of a swim. In fact, double jumping might be faster at this point than using lily pads. In fact, it is. This does look kind of weird. Well, actually, it doesn't look that bad. There's some games where you have like water clipping into the floor really obviously. In this game, I mean, kind of do, but eh. What a sorry sight. Better was once a sweet ship in its heyday. It could have been carrying lots of stuff on board. But how are we going to get in without drowning? Well, we will see. Actually, we know because the tide goes away. But, you know. Regardless, it is very convenient that this thing crashed in an area where the tide goes out and we can get in. I mean, that's really, really convenient. On top of the sunken ship, you can get a stray bead. So, one more for us there. And in this chest, we get a golden peach. I doubt we'll really use golden peaches. Like, you might as well, when you get a new Astro Pouch, you might as well use a golden peach. Because what else are you going to use it on? But for the most part, I sort of find golden peaches to be useless. Mainly because I find the Astro Pouch to be generally useless. Because maybe I'm just good at this game, but I don't think it's that, really, that's the reason I don't die. It's just that the game doesn't have... There's treasure here, too? It doesn't have a treasure. Let me finish that sentence. There's treasure here, too, though. Really? Why am I finding so much treasure in this LP that I never knew about? I mean, I love it, but I find that a bit weird and slightly worrying. I don't know why it's worrying, but it is. Regardless, let's awkwardly swim up this water. I was about to call it a funnel. It's not a funnel. Funnels, that's not the definition of a funnel. Whatever that is, jet, water jet is probably the thing to say there. Rao said that on the new moon, the ship would, the tide would go away and we could do the ship. We'd go in. So let's see. people don't mention that sequence enough and just how beautiful it looks. Some of the best art direction in this game is on the water. Like, the water in this game just looks so fucking good. Like, let's just jump in here. Look at I love everything about this game, art style wise especially, is just amazing. Regardless, we're going to be heading in Sunken Ship this episode, at least a little bit. We're not going to get through it all, naturally. You know, with bloody, however long in, 20 minutes about. And, you know, we can't get through entire... It's not really a dungeon. This is like Icona Valley, really, where it's sort of like a mini dungeon, you know? It's not like... You know those caves in Zelda, like, I'll use Twilight Princess as an example. There's one cave in Hyrule Field where, like, you have to push ice blocks and it's a lot like Snow Peak. It's not as short as that. It's somewhere in the middle between that and like a legitimate dungeon. You know, mini dungeons. Okami's a number of them, and I love them all. You know, big dungeons are generally reserved for the end of an arc. You know, Sutai Ruins, the Moon Cave. You know, the dungeon next will be coming to. And between then, you just have like little mini dungeons, and that's what I love about the game. That, you know, lots of diverse areas, lots of cool areas, lots of cool characters, lots of cool everything. Let's jump into the shining light of light, I guess. Well, that looks, you know, it's like something we can't get past. It's something sort of visually glitchy. That door looks cursed. They probably sealed it up like that to keep looters out. But I've never seen such a sinister looking curse before. I sure hope this whole ship isn't one big curse. At any rate, this puppy ain't gonna be easy to dispel. Amaterasu! You're here already, both of you. I'm sorry I'm late. Ami, what are you doing? My political duties delayed me. This is the treasure ship you were talking about? Yes, this is where the foxods Queen Himiko was looking for are. It was sunk by the water dragon, and now it's filled with monsters. But my holy powers can easily deal with a few dozen monsters. There's nothing to worry about. Let's go in. That's all fine and dandy, babe. But what about this cursed door here? Was it sealed up like that to keep looters out? Or maybe it's the curse of those who died when the water dragon sunk the ship. That thing's just seething with an intensely evil power. So there's a cursed door to stop anyone from getting in. I see. That's a neat trick. You got that right. We better find another way in. It's time we joined forces, Amaterasu. There'll be more barriers sealed by magic as we get further inside. When we come to them, I'll use a prayer slip to break through the seal. So, if you don't mind, let me jump onto your flaming back. That can't be comfortable. Mainly because you're clipping through the divine retribution. But... So, Amaterasu, handling the prayer slips is my affair, but I'd like your assistance in targeting. Don't worry, what I ask is not difficult. You know how to manipulate the brush of the gods, I believe? Use that power to guide the prayer slips from my hand to its target. So let's practice on the curse barring the door, shall we? Basically, you draw, you know, from the prayer slip to the door. This sort of thing is a thing used a lot more in Okami Den. You know, we have this sort of partner mechanic. This is like one of the few times, if the only time, you actually have a partner. Obviously, there's times you have characters on your back. You know, we had Susanoo, also I'm going to save real quick. You know, obviously before we did have Susanoo and Kushi on our backs, and also there's ghosts in here. And you can use prayer slips to take them out. And if for defeating them, you actually get a Demon Fang, which is convenient. And they will attack you, so watch out for that. And you can never run out of prayer slips, by the way. You have an infinite number. Looks spooky. Fitting since I'm recording this on Halloween. Whoa, just look at those treasure chests. We're gonna be millionaires even before we find those fox rods. Yeah, we're gonna be millionaires in the next episode. Next time, guys, we will explore more of the Sunken Ship, explore all of the Sunken Ship, more than likely, if, unless it takes an unnecessarily long time, in which case I hope not. But we will explore more with Rao next time on Let's Play Okami. See you guys then.